Here in UPSC CASF Assistant Commandant, what is Halli Salaya depicted in the bark paintings? Classical form dance, a folk dance form. The same question has been asked in 2026. Halli Salasya painting in the bark canes represent. So here they have given a folk dance form, the same option, a joyous folk dance. So it's a direct hit previously from the 2024 CAS. Now the important question here is, since most of the questions have come from Upinder Singh, should you read the Upinder Singh? Welcome to the video wherein we discuss about the sources and strategy for history for 2027. As all of you know, 2026 history was one of the hardest. I would say not one of the hardest. It was actually the hardest in probably 10 to 15 years, right? Because of the fact that, first of all, there was a change in the pattern of questions, right? So mostly in history, close to 4 questions were introduced in the statement and assertion model question, right? If you remember, a question regarding Indus Valley civilization, a question regarding Rig Veda, so different multiples of questions were there. But one of the biggest issues was that most of the standard books that we study, be it the 6th NCERT, 7th NCERT for medieval history, and the 12th NCERT themes part 1, part 2, hardly any questions have come from the same. So that is why there was a lot of panic in the market. Most of my mentees, the first thing they asked me is that, so what is the strategy for 2027 history? Because most of the other things we can say that, okay, fine, PIB is there to refer. In case of polity, Lakshmigan, questions from the Lakshmigan came. But for history, there was a significant lack of confusion with respect to what is the sources. So that is the purpose of this video. I'm going to show you all the questions regarding the history, that was all the 20 questions asked in 2026. What are the sources regarding the same? And also, what should be the approach for the 2027 prelims, right? So here, we'll be talking about the weightage given to each of the topics. We'll be talking about the sources, the PYQs, and the approach that you have to follow for the 2027, right? Now, if you look into the same, you can see here that the biggest jump in case of prelims can be attributed to AMAC, right? So in 2025, as you can see here, AMAC with 8 questions were there, right? But in 2026, significant jump to 15 questions. But when you compare the polity, 15 questions were there in 2025, but only 6 questions came in 2026, especially with respect to environment as well. Usually they hover around the range between 10 to 13, but in case of environment as well, there was a significant drop, only 8 questions were there, right? Now moving on to the same, what is the significant gainers? So if you look at here, in case of ancient history, usually it ranges from 1, 2, 3 range, right? So from 2021, it was 3, 2022, 1, 2, 2, and followed by 5 questions in 2025. But ancient history had a jump of 7 questions, right? 7 questions were there. Medieval history, not even a single question were there from medieval history for this year. And art and culture, also there was a significant jump, especially with respect to music related questions and all. So close to 8 questions from art and culture were there. So when you compare AMAC, 15 questions were there, and modern history, 5 questions were there, making the total to 20 questions from history here. So AMAC, ancient history and art and culture had the most number of questions here. Now let me also tell you that this video is not about talking about the micro themes. Okay, I'm not going to be talking about in very detail regarding the each and every micro themes that you have to focus. Let's say for example, in this one, in this slide here, you can see here that I have provided the micro themes of art and culture here, right? Buddhism and Jainism, 10 questions have come. Architecture, 8 questions. Architecture, cave and rocket architecture, 8 questions have come. So this is a very detailed analysis regarding all the important micro themes for art and culture. This is not what we will be discussing in this video, for the fact that all these have already been covered in existing YouTube videos, right? So the areas to focus regarding art and culture most probably is Buddhism and philosophy and the features, important sects and features, founders, Buddhism, Jainism. So this is not what I'll be doing today, okay? For the fact that, as I said earlier, all these have already been covered. You can see the video regarding medieval history here. You can see the video regarding art and culture, and also regarding the video regarding AMAC. So if you want to go for a very detailed analogy regarding all the micro themes and all the important topics and the subtopics that you have to focus on all these, you can refer to these videos, okay? This video will not be regarding the same because it will take a significant amount of time to cover all these AMAC, all these 3 videos, right? So, rather, this video will be regarding the sources and everything that I said. Now, as you all know, the questions were very random, right? Very random. So here you can have a question regarding place value system, which not even a single word was there in any of the NCERTs. Another question was regarding one of the most absurd questions regarding the Pleistocene period, either the Yamuna once flowed into the Indus or the Satluj or anything regarding the river flowage, especially the Pleistocene period. No relevance at all, very random question. And then you have a lot of music-based questions, right? Raga Bilawal, a painting question regarding to Halli Salasya. Again, a music-based question related to Pandit Mallikarjun Mansur. Again, some random question regarding to Kshetra Patni, which is mentioned in Atharva Veda. So very, very random questions. Now, one thing I want to say is that don't go for each and every question. I mean, don't run behind each and every questions, okay? There will be certain questions in ancient, in AMAT, which you will never get. So just for the fact that, okay, fine, so one question came from Blasi to partition, so I should read that. No. One question came from, let's say, for example, Upinder Singh, so I should read that. No, that is not the thing. Ancient history questions, if 10 questions are there each year, only like 5 or 6 everyone will be getting. 4 questions no one will be getting. So the difficulty for AMA questions are very, very high. So don't run behind each and every question and don't run behind each and every source, because it's not possible for you to read and everything, right? So always have this in mind. Basics, NCERTs and everything will be focusing. The rest we'll try to solve using logical elimination or some other different techniques, right? Now, what are the sources of questions? Now, in case of the first question, the place value system question, let me tell you that it has not been from any of the NCERTs. Okay, there is a single reference with respect to the Upinder Singh, you can see here. It is based on the place value for the first time, numbers, and the use of symbol known as Bindu for 0. So only this has been referred in the Upinder Singh. And what is Upinder Singh? The Upinder Singh, the history of ancient and early medieval history, is the textbook that we use for the history optional. Now, I am from the history optional background. So when I used to study that, in my preparation days, I used to read that. Okay. So this is from Upinder Singh. But can you get the answer from Upinder Singh? Definitely no. There is only a mention regarding place value system, but you won't be able to solve any of the statements by using this relevance. Okay. So neither the NCERTs nor the Upinder Singh will give you the answer to this particular question, right? Moving on to the next thing. Next question, 13th question. Which of the following was the reverse question? Now, reverse question is also from the Upinder Singh, as you can see here. So here you can see here that the great battle took place on the banks of the river Parishni Ravi. So Ravi, regarding the battle of the 10 kings, the Sharakna is given in the Upinder Singh itself. It's not provided in the NCERTs, rather it is also provided in Upinder Singh. So Parishni Ravi, this is correct here. But would we be able to solve the whole question regarding the Singh with this particular knowledge? No, you will be in these two options, right? So it's either 3 and 4 or 4 only. Okay. So even the whole question you will not be able to answer with the Upinder Singh book here, right? Now moving on to the third question. What does an empty seat represent in the early Buddhist iconography? This is a direct hit from the 12th standard themes part 1, ancient history, new NCERT, right? So in the class 12 themes part 1, page 100, you can see here that regarding the symbols of worship chapter, many early sculptures did not show Buddha in human form. Instead, they show Buddha through his symbols. The empty seat was to indicate the meditation of Buddha. So this is a direct hit from the themes part 1, and you can see here the option A, the meditation of Buddha has been directly provided here. So here it was a direct hit and A was the answer here. So one hit from themes part 1. Second one, again the same book, class 12 themes part 1. You can see here that Chenguttuvan is given here Chera, right? But in the boxes in themes part 1, you can see here that the Pandya chief Chenguttuvan visits the forest. So here Chenguttuvan is not a Chera king, rather he's a Pandya king, right? So in the boxes they have exactly provided the same. And always remember that, especially with respect to these, these history books and everything, boxes are very, very important. Okay, Aragata was coming from a box or an image. Baja cave was from a box or an image. Many questions. Okay, if you look into the same, if you watch my previous videos, even the 3 videos that I just showed you earlier, if you watch those videos, you will understand that most of the questions come from these boxes and images. Okay, so when you read these NCERTs that I'm going to say now, always give preference to these boxes, images and everything. Okay, so in the boxes, Cheira Chenkutuvan is from Pandya, so therefore you can ignore the same. So it's a direct hit from the class 12 themes part 1. In Upinder Singh as well, the same has been provided in page number 123. Udayan Cheral is the earliest known Chera king. Udayan Cheral, Chera. So it has been also been provided in the Upinder Singh as well. Okay. Now, in case of Pali, I wouldn't say it's an exact hit or something, because the question is not about whether these two statements are factually correct or not. Okay, because this is what the question is asking, right? The above statements have been associated with which of the following. So these two statements are always factually correct here, and you don't have to check the factual relevance of the same. Whether these corresponds to these two statements is what you have to refer. But Firbi, I'm just saying that the direct literal sources have been taken from both the Upinder Singh and also the NCERTs. So here they're talking about the Pali test and also the Panchma coins made of, most of them are silver. The same thing has been provided in class 12 themes part 1. Exchanges were facilitated by the product introduction of coinage, Panchma coins made of silver and copper. So the same thing has been provided in the themes part 1. Also the same thing regarding the first statement. The Pali test contains the first definite reference to coins Kahabana, Nikka, Kamsa and Kahaniga. The same thing has been provided in Upinder Singh as well. Important aspect of urbanism. An important aspect of urbanism was the emergence of coinage. Pali test contains the first definite reference to coins Kahabana, Nikka, Kamsa, Masaga and Kakaniga. So the same test has been used in this question as well. So this is a direct hit from Upinder Singh and also the class 12 NCERT. Now regarding this question, very random question in my opinion. Among the 4 forms of existence of life recognized in Jainism, which one of the following is not included? Again, a direct hit from Upinder Singh, not any of the NCERTs. So Upinder Singh history, the Jain discipline section, page number 551, you can see here that the Jaina doctrine recognizes the 4 main forms of existence: the gods Deva, the humans Manushya, the hell beings Naraki, and the animals and plants Tiryancha. So Tiryancha is there, Deva is there, Manushya is there, but Yaksha demigods are not there. So therefore here demigods B will be the answer, also from Upinder Singh, not from any of the NCERTs, right? Yeah, same thing. And this one as well, you won't be able to get the whole answer from here, okay? Because Malagiti Shivalaya and this particular second question is not provided in the NCERTs, but the Dashavadar temple, Diogar, is provided in the themes part 1. The same image you can see here, a temple in Diogar. It is the one of the first Nagara style Shikara. So here 3 will be coming here. So A you can eliminate here. So the answer will either be 2 and 3, 3 only, and 3 and 4. Okay. So what I'm saying is always focus on the images provided in the NCERT is very significant. Okay. Would you be able to get the answer? No. But you will get one of the options. You will be able to eliminate one of the options. Even in case of this question, there is no direct relevance. Okay. No direct relevance is there. Which of the following statements about the Amaravati Stupa is they are asking? And the second statement was a relation between the Sanchi Stupa and the Amaravati Stupa. In India, it was next only to the Sanchi Stupa in size. So therefore, they are comparing basically Amaravati Stupa and Sanchi Stupa, right? The same has been provided in the 12th standard themes part 1. You can see here that discovering stupas, the fate of Amaravati and Sanchi. But here they have not provided whether they are located in the Krishna Valley. Andhra Pradesh they have provided, but they have not provided whether they are located in the upper Krishna Valley, lower Krishna Valley or anything, or even Godavari or any of the rivers. They have not mentioned that it is not next to Sanchi sculpture in size. That also they have not mentioned. Even the third statement, that also they have not mentioned here. So even though there is a chapter regarding Amaravati and Sanchi, the direct questions cannot be answered from this particular information. So this is also not a direct hit, but some kind of relevance you will be able to get from the same. And the current affairs regarding the Moidam question, as all of you know, this is from the PIBs. Okay, so therefore, it does not have any linkage with the current affairs and everything. It was the UNESCO World Heritage Site declared in 2024, right? So therefore, definitely it won't be there in the NCERT. It is a purely current affairs question. Now, when you actually compare the number of questions which came from all the books here, okay, Upinder Singh had the highest hits here, because most of the questions came from ancient history this year. Medieval pay only, not even a single question was there, 0 question from medieval history. So from Upinder Singh, 5 questions were there, direct hits were there. From 12th NCERT themes part 1, 3 hits were there, 3 direct hits were there. 11th NCERT introduction to Indian art, only 1 hit, okay. They talk about all Chalika temples and Pattadakkal were under the Vesara style. So therefore here, Veerupaksha temple Pattadakkal will not be the answer here. Okay. So 1 direct hit, matlab, you won't be able to solve the whole question, but 1 option you will be able to get from introduction to Indian art. Then 1 question from the current affairs. Now the important question here is, since most of the questions have come from Upinder Singh, should you read the Upinder Singh? Or is it possible for you to do the same? How many of you have read Upinder Singh? No. For the fact that this is an optional book, okay? And we never expect a GS person to read the same because it's impossible for you to read the same. Because, okay, and these are the questions which are very, very, very out of the box, okay? Which does not have any direct source from any of the NCERTs or even Upinder Singh. The Nadi Suktawala question, the Raja Bilawal, Halli Salaya, and Pandit Mallikarjun Mansur and the Kshetrapani. Nowhere any of these sources actually provides information regarding these things, especially the NCERTs, okay? Now what should you do? Is it possible for you to read the Upinder Singh? Definitely 100% the answer is no. Because the Upinder Singh, you know, it has close to 1094 pages. It's a completely optional book. And also remember that the font is very, very small. It's like 4 pages of spectrum compiled into one, because the book in itself is this much. Okay, it's like a college size notebook. And the font is very, very less. It was very hard for me even to complete that in my option. At least 2 months or 1.5 months it took me to complete the same. So it's impossible for you to complete the same, and you will never be reading the same as well. You don't need to read the same as well just because 5 questions came in the year 2026. Now you will be asking, so then what is the strategy? Okay, let me tell you that there will be no significant change in the strategy, because we have to be practical, right? Just because 7 questions came from ancient history, you can't study a 1000-page book Upinder Singh. You can't study a 150-page 6th standard NCERT. You can study a 200-page themes part 1. And you cannot study your standard book, which can be Udan, which can be Tamil Nadu SCRT, or it can be Poonandalal Dahiya. So one particular portion which is not relevant for mains as well, just for the 5 or 4 prelims question, it's not possible for you to study at least 1500 or 1700 pages, right? Now what should be the strategy? The same strategy we'll be following like last year only, but with certain changes. Now in case of ancient history, we'll be focusing on 2 NCERTs. The 6th standard NCERT and the 12th standard NCERT themes part 1. We will be focusing. When you read through these NCERTs, mostly focus on the maps. Most of the questions, if you look at the ancient and medieval history, questions have come from the maps. Okay, especially the sites-based question. And the tables, Aragata, and the pictures as well. Okay, so more focus should be on the maps, pictures, and the information provided in the boxes. So 6th standard NCERT, 12th standard NCERT for ancient history. Medieval ke liye, we'll be reading the 7th standard NCERT, our past part 2. And 12th standard NCERT themes part 2. But let me tell you, even for 2025 as well, not even a single question came for medieval history. So if you feel that this is too much hectic for you, you can ignore this one, themes of Indian history part 2, because questions have not been coming from this particular book. Okay. Now you also need to have one standard book. The standard book, because it's from the NCERTs, you have to make the notes, right? Because NCERTs are completely scattered and it's not based on chronological order. So after Indus Valley, you won't be getting Rigvedic age. You might be getting the Mauryan age regarding the same. So one standard book should be there. It can be your institute wala material, whichever institute that you have done your foundation course, or you can go for Poonandalal Dahiya, you can go for Tamil Nadu SCRT, or you can go for any other material in the market. That's not an issue. Okay. So one standard book, and when you read the standard book, so for example, you have read Indus Valley Civilization from the standard book. And now what you have to read? You have to read Indus Valley Civilization from the 6th standard NCERT, and you have to read the Indus Valley Civilization from the 12th standard NCERT. And whatever additional information that you are getting from the NCERT is what you need to do. You need to note down in your standard book, so that your standard book will become your one source information. Okay. So always remember, there should be a one source information. Follow some standard book or any of your institute material, and then read the subsequent chapters of that NCERTs in this valley. If you're studying Mauryan history, then study the Mauryan history of the static book, the standard book first, followed by from the 6th and 12th, and add all the additional notes you are getting from the NCERTs to your standard book, so that you will have a one source information. Okay, this is what you should be following. And in case of art and culture, you can follow Nitin Sihania, and you can follow the 11th standard introduction to Indian art, NCERT as well. Now, what is the next thing that we can do? What is the change in strategy? If not, this is something that all of you knows, right? So what is the change in strategy? Upinder Singh is not the changing strategy. The changing strategy will be to do a lot of PYQs. And when I say PYQs means, I'm not referring to the UPSC CSE PYQs. I'm referring to all the other exams conducted by UPSC. Because if you look at this, you will be able to understand that most of the questions are directly taken from the other exams conducted by UPSC. Okay. So here, what you need to do is, let's say for example, 2025 UPSC, you can see here that with reference to ancient India, territorial region, Cambodia, they have provided Vibhas. And Vibhas is the ancient name for Bias. Okay. They have provided Vibhas here. Vibhas is the ancient name for Bias. And in 2026, they have provided the same thing. Yavyavadi. Bias. But Bias' old name is not Yavyavadi. It's basically Vibhas. So therefore here, 4 is incorrect. So if 4 is incorrect, then the answer will be either 1 and 2 or 3 only. And Parishni, you know that it's Ravi, right? So therefore here, what will be the answer? The answer will be 3 only here. So directly taken from the previous year PYQ, Cambodia Vibhas, the same thing has been provided, Yavyavadi Bias. Okay. Now the same question has been provided in 2020 CAPF as well. You can see here that Parishni, they have provided here. Okay. Parishni, Ravi, and you can see here Asikini. The same Askini has also been provided here. Okay. So from 2020 CAPF, Assistant Commandant Exam, Parishni and Askini, you will get the answer to the same. The same 2022 CDS paper, okay, they have provided Parishni. At the banks of which of the following rivers was the 10 battle fought in the early Vedic period? And the answer is Parishni, which directly relates it to Ravi River. Okay. So the same question, 3 repeated PYQs. Vibhas, 2020 CAPF, and 2022 CDS as well, right? Now coming on to the next thing, here this was a question from 2026 UPSC, right? We have already discussed the same. What does the empty seat represent in the early Buddhic iconography? And the answer was meditation of the Buddha. Similar question, I would say, but not the direct question. Which one of the following sculptures found at Sanchi Stupa is not directly inspired from the Buddhic ideas? And here they have provided the option as empty seat. Only the option, okay? I'm not saying direct NCERT, directly you will get the answer to the same. But one of the options was empty seat here. One of the options was empty seat. Okay. The same thing has been asked in NDA 2022 as well. Early Buddhist sculptures did not show Buddha in human form. Through which of the following symbols was Buddha's presence shown in early sculptures? And here as well, they have provided empty seat as well. But even if you do the same, you will definitely at least in the answer key, or at least some kind of Googling you will be doing. So therefore you will understand that empty seat basically represents the meditation of the Buddha. So here 2 sources, 2025 and 2020, the same empty seat you will get from the same. Now here UPSC combined geoscientist paper 2023. The typical Nagara style Shikara is visible in which of the following temples? And one of the option was the Dashwadhara temple Deoghar. The same question has been provided, which of the following temples have a Nagara style Shikara? The same question, and the answer, the Dashwadhara temple Deoghar, the Dashwadhara temple Deoghar. It's a direct hit, but if you won't be able to get the answer, it will be 2 and 3, 3 only, and 3 and 4. Okay, but one option is directly repeating in the same. Second one, this is a direct hit. Here in UPSC CISF Assistant Commandant, what is Halli Salaya depicted in the bark paintings? Classical form dance, a folk dance form. The same question has been asked in 2026. Halli Salasya painting in the bark canes represent. So here they have given a folk dance form. The same option, a joyous folk dance. So it's a direct hit. Previous flee from the 2024 CASF, right? In NDA paper 2 2025, Chenguttuvan is the name of Pandyan ruler, Chola ruler. The answer was Pandyan ruler here. The same question has been provided here. Which of the following is not correctly matched? So Chenguttuvan is not Chera, is basically a Pandya. So therefore here, Chenguttuvan is Pandya, Nedumchelian is Chera. So therefore 2 only not correctly matched. So 1 and 3 will be the answer here. Okay. So what should you do? I'm not saying all the questions you will be able to get the same, okay? Because all these random questions, Raga Bilawal is not from any of the previous year PYQs. Pandit Mallikarjun was not from the PYQs. Kshetra Patni was not from the PYQs. Even the Pleistocene period was not from the PYQs or something. But what is that one thing that we can do? We can solve the PYQs. That's the basic thing that we can do. Okay. So what you're going to do is, especially in dominant prelims, what we will be doing is, okay. So last year, we only gave 1 day for ancient history because only like 2 questions come every year, 3 questions come every year, right? And this was the schedule for 1 day. This year, we'll be raising it to 2 days. So 2 days, we will be having ancient history exam. Medieval last time we provided 2 days. It will be continuing the same. So it will be 2 days for ancient history, 2 days for medieval, 2 days for art and culture, followed by the core test on Sunday. This is what we'll be doing. And more than 50% of the questions, we will not be making any question. We will not be making significant number of questions, okay? Rather, we will be taking all the questions which is asked in this paper. Let's say 5 years of NDA, all the ancient medieval art and culture questions we'll be putting in dominate. CASF, PFC, all these years. I mean, it's not possible for you to go through all the questions of the last 10 years of all the examination. Okay, it's not possible, right? So the UPSC CSC, last 10 years we will be doing definitely. Last year also we have done the same. And NDA, CAPF, CASF, combined geoscientist and CDS. These are the exams conducted by UPSC which are general in nature, not combined medical examination, not Indian statistical service examination and everything. General studies, mostly they focus on these papers. So at least last 5 years, only the history questions, okay? I'm not saying polity repeats. I'm not saying environment repeats. I'm not saying science and technology and everything. Only for the history. Let me analyze through all these, other papers as well, modern history and everything. If for every paper, UPSC is basically repeating all these questions, then we will be doing all the questions. Or else, especially for ancient history, we need to do this, okay? Because as you can see here, direct questions are coming from the same, right? So this is what we'll be doing. So what will be the final strategy? Upinder Singh we won't be doing. Just for NCERTs, 6 standard, 12 standard for ancient, 7 standard, 12 standard part 2 for medieval. And for art and culture, 1 standard book followed by the introduction to Indian art. This is only literally possible for you, followed by 1 standard book. Apart from that, what we can do is we can do the last 5 years of PYQs as well. So this will be the strategy. And if you don't want to follow all this, or if you don't want to do all these questions, definitely in the dominant prelims test series, we will be taking, because it's an easy work for me as well. I don't have to vet the questions. I don't have to prepare new questions. We'll be just taking all these questions and putting it in the test series. Okay, this is what we'll be doing, because since we have provided all these random questions from in our dominant test as well, none of the questions from ancient and medieval are basically hitting. Because UPSC is basically taking questions, either it is very random or from the PYQs. So it's better for us and it's easy for us to take the questions from the PYQs and put it in the dominate. Okay, not all the questions, mostly like 30 to 40% of the questions we'll be taking from all these things.